The mother-in-law runs into the house carrying fish, places them on the table, quickly takes money out of her pocket and says, "Here, daughter-in-law, take this money too." The daughter-in-law says in surprise, "Where did all this money come from? And you even bought such big fish." The mother-in-law smiles and says, "Oh no, I didn't find any money. I sold vegetables from the village. It came to a little over 8,000. You take these 7,000. We kept 1,000 for ourselves." The daughter-in-law, a bit suspicious, says, "Oh, okay, but Mom, it used to be more than this. Why is it less this time?" The father-in-law says in a tired voice, "I haven't been feeling well, so I couldn't work much." Changing the subject, the mother-in-law says, "I bought this fish this morning too. Cook it however you like." With that, she turns to leave. The daughter-in-law calls out loudly, "Wait, Mom, I wanted to tell you something. These days, all my friends wear gold jewelry, so I should have some too." Hearing this, the mother-in-law hesitates for a moment, then hands over the money and says, "All right, take all of this." The husband is watching and listening from a distance. The daughter-in-law presses further, "This isn't enough. Please give me your bank card." The mother-in-law says firmly, "There's no money in it." The daughter-in-law insists, "I don't believe you. I want to check it myself." Slightly annoyed, the mother-in-law says, "Wait here. I'll go get it." She turns to leave. The husband steps in angrily and says, "Mom, Dad, don't go. Feifei, what's going on?" The mother-in-law stops her son and says sternly, "Son, if other girls have it, then my daughter-in-law should have it too." She leaves. The husband steps forward angrily and says, "I'm not refusing. Just be patient. I'll buy it when I get paid. Why do you want to spend my parents' money?" The mother-in-law comes back and says firmly, "That's enough. Peace in the family matters most. Here, daughter-in-law, take the card." The daughter-in-law takes the card and leaves happily. The husband, worried, says, "Mom, if you keep spoiling her like this, she'll get out of control later." The mother-in-law replies firmly, "Let it go. If she wants it, let her have it. You clean the fish. I'm going to get medicine." As she walks outside, she looks at her phone and says in surprise, "What? Why is there so much money in the card? Could this be a scam?" Panicking, she rushes back home and says out of breath, "Son, look, how did so much money get in here?" The husband looks and says seriously, "Mom, Feifei took your card. We'll know when she comes back." Just then, the daughter-in-law returns. The mother-in-law walks up happily and says, "Oh, daughter-in-law, where's the bracelet?" The daughter-in-law smiles and says, "What bracelet? Mom, I bought you a new shirt. It's getting hot." The mother-in-law puts on the shirt and says happily, "It looks great. My daughter-in-law really has good taste. My dear, don't spend so much money on me." The daughter-in-law says gently but firmly, "Mom, spending money on you isn't wasteful. You and Dad worked hard your whole lives for us. Now it's our turn to take care of you in your old age. I put all that money back into your card and added some of my own. Please keep it." The husband says in surprise, "Oh, so it was you." With teary eyes, the mother-in-law says, "Oh, you silly child. You wanted a gold bracelet." She holds out the card and says, "You keep it yourself." The daughter-in-law refuses and says, "This is the money you and Dad worked hard for. How could I spend it? You're getting older and having some savings gives peace of mind." Message: the true beauty is not in breaking relationships, but in understanding and strengthening them.